this is Mr. J. Each year, God has graced me to travel to the East African countries of Uganda, Rwanda, and Congo, completing my 8th missionary journey. Each year, our team travels to meet up with Renee, our Director of Africa Missions, who is there 8 months out of the year, laying the groundwork for what we are about to experience. My task on the mission field is to take stories that are in the Bible and make them visual through the art of theater that we take into the villages, or produce, direct, and edit short movies. I must also teach in workshops consisting of teenagers and young adults. Let's listen to our other team members, Lynette, John, and Rachel, as we go into the villages of Bwenge, which is in Uganda, Ruinjiri, and Karangazi, which are both in Rwanda, and we go back to Uganda to the village of Rimikoma.
Hello, my name is Lynette Coachman, and I want to share with you my experience traveling to Africa for my 3rd missionary journey to Uganda and my 2nd year in Rwanda. Our team traveled to share the gospel, and we visited 4 villages: Bwenge, Ruinjiri, Karangazi, and Rimikoma. Part of my responsibility was to share the gospel with the women. And what we talked about this year was being daughters of God and the importance of obeying God. I also taught about the experiences of many women in the Bible with their husband, like Sarah and Abraham, and how to love their own husbands and how to love their children. I also spent some time emphasizing how they can help the young women of the village to grow. This was a great experience, sharing with my sisters in the various villages that we visited. One of the challenges that I had on this trip, it's a little difficult sometimes because of the language barrier, having a translator and being able to translate the Word of God so that they are able to receive it in their own language. But overall, it turned out to be very well. It was a very good experience to see the women read the Word of God in their language. I enjoyed it. It seems like we had created such a great bond together, sharing our life stories and even encouraging each other on how to be better wives to our husband and how to love our children. The challenges that I had preparing for this trip is, being able to study and hear from God what He really wanted the women in Africa to know. That was difficult at sometimes, and the distractions, but it came through very well. But what I found out after studying and getting through some of those difficulties, exactly the stories that was in the Bible, like Sarah and Abraham as a husband and wife experience, was very good, and helping to teach the women about a quiet spirit, which Sarah did have a quiet spirit. I've also took the time to study about the widow's awl and how, sometimes widows feel like they have been forgotten. And through that experience with Elijah and the widow and all that was provided, she knew that God hadn't forgotten her. That was one good story. And it reached a lot of women that was in the workshops because we had a lot of widows this time. Prayerfully, I plan to go back because I feel like I've created a relationship with the women in Uganda, in the various villages, and in Rwanda. It's like a sisterhood.
Hi, my name is John Crumpton, and I'm a member at the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church in Ontario, California. This past spring, I had the opportunity to be involved in a mission project at our church to the countries of Uganda and Rwanda. As a part of the 4-person team that went from our church, we actually conducted workshops at 4 different locations in the Uganda area and also in Rwanda. My particular responsibility was working with a team member, Rachel Leary, and we were primarily working with the Sunday school teachers and some pastors. And basically we were providing them with, we would conduct Bible lessons, sharing different themes from the scriptures, as well as providing them with tools that they could then take and use to teach the individuals and the children that they were working with in their various churches and Sunday schools. This was actually not my first missionary experience. When I first became a Christian back in 1981, the Lord sent me to Kenya to be involved with an organization called Africa Inland Missions. We were involved in building the foundation for a children's home, as well as going out and sharing the gospel with the people of Kenya. Since then, I've been involved in missions in Mexico with Ambassadors Fellowship out of Los Angeles. And so I was really excited about this opportunity 34 years after my initial experience to be a part of the group that went to Uganda and Rwanda. One of the things that really struck me was the efficiency of the project. We had 4 different places that we conducted the workshops, and it meant traveling. I remember we initially got into the airport in Entebbe at 10:30 at night. By 1:30 we were at the hotel. By 4:30 we were on the road going to our first mission stop. So there was the coordination, and I really appreciated the fact that the group was able to work together. We were able to coordinate where we needed to go. Everybody knew what their job was, and it was a very efficient project. The other thing that kind of strikes me is, just thinking about the people that we were able to meet, the people we were able to look into the faces of, and to see how they responded to the Word of God. To know that the God of the universe had dispatched us all the way from where we are in Southern California to minister to this group of people that we never would have ever met or seen in our lives. And I think that I had a sense of that, and I think the people had a sense of that as well.
My name is Rachel Leary, and I'm a member of Mount Zion Baptist Church, and I am one of the missionaries. And this summer we actually went to Africa, and it was my first time going to Africa, so I will be telling you guys a little bit about my experience there. One of the main objectives for me on this trip was to make sure that I built a relationship with the Sunday school teachers in the various locations that we went to. So we would do lessons based on what it means to be an effective Sunday school teacher, and then coupled with that we would do an activity or like some kind of a craft to pair that with the lesson that we went over, so that the teachers could go back and share it with their students. And that was in and of itself an extreme blessing, because a lot of the Sunday school teachers were not equipped with a lot of the things that we have here in the States. So it was really amazing just to see how appreciative they were of everything that we were offering them. So I ran my own classroom along with another partner, and so we basically just took turns doing lessons and crafts, and so that was really, really neat. A few of the challenges that I guess you could say experienced or faced while we were there were definitely not things that would deter me from wanting to go back, but one of the biggest things that I encountered were the bugs. There was just a lot of bugs. There was a lot of mosquitoes. I'm pretty sure I literally almost died the first night we were in Rwanda because some bug crept into my room and basically attacked me. So it was scary, but it was fun. Looking back on it now, it was a really, really fun experience. Some of the other things, one being the language barrier. Having to use a translator or an interpreter the entire time was kind of difficult, just because you want to be expressive and you want to talk to them, but you can't because you don't speak their native language. So that was a little bit difficult, but we were able to overcome that with the use of translators. And just body language also says a lot without saying much, and so we were able to communicate with them on that level. And then the third thing for me, I think, was just the dress. We had to wear long skirts or dresses the entire time, which I'm not really much of a skirt or dress girl, but to be above reproach and to be acceptable to the villagers, we had to kind of acclimate and fit in with their, with their customs. And so that was something that we had to deal with, which wasn't that bad. And then I would say the biggest blessings of the entire trip was just being able to watch day by day, week by week, the people that we were interacting with, being able to watch them grow spiritually. And so we saw them start at one particular area, and then just to see the progression that they made every single time we had a lesson or a skill or a craft or something to that effect, and just being able to see them flourish and grow and really understand and grasp biblical concepts was really, really amazing for me, and definitely one of the reasons why I'm so excited to go back next year. Another blessing for me in and of itself was just being able to experience a new culture. I've been wanting to go to Africa now for over a year, and so when this opportunity hit, I was excited and I jumped on board. So just being able to experience their customs, the culture, some of the food, just the way they interact with one another and how different they live from the way Americans live here in the States was really something to me.
Who knows? Maybe we will see you next year as we prepare for the African mission field next May. Or you can stay at home and be a prayer warrior. Our vision is to bring light to the community and beyond through evangelism, discipleship, and faithful service. God bless you.